Or maybe Bungoma has a unique way of celebrating Christmas. Maybe their Christmas came early. But these
in Ethiopia, the New Year was in our November. So maybe they're using the Ethiopian calendar.
Maybe they're using the Ethiopian calendar.
It was a very ceremonial function where people had Christmas hats and with some good tents. And they were jumping like nursery school children.
Chair, just for the record, because I know media will say I am the one who has done that. It is 2019. Please, Chair, I also need protection. Because what is going
to... Oh, you are not under any threat, Governor.
Because, you are dressing like, it's me.
The narration was supposed to be a facilitation to Mbale benchmarking. If you look at...
How can the county attorney be wiser than the chief officer, who is a custodian of all these records? This is a matter that is unethical. This is a matter that must be escalated to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. I know they're around, and this is a matter that we must mark to them, because it cannot be acceptable.
As we move forward, we are not going to look for less. Lakini Deputy President, usifikiria ya kwamba tunataka kiti yako, tunataka kukufukuza. Please, you are our friend, but as we negotiate, we are going to negotiate what our people deserve. We are going to negotiate what our party deserves. Our party is not a Jaluo party. It is a party for the whole of Kenya. And therefore, we are going to negotiate fairly. We don't want tribal parties. Hatutaki tribalists kuongeza nchi yetu. So we are going to negotiate, and we are not going to take anybody's share. We are only going to make sure that everybody gets their fair share in the national cake. This is our aim. And those who are saying they want to take over the government, I don't see them campaigning anywhere. They are just in one region, in one area, ndio wanazunguka hapo, lakini rais anazunguka kila mahali Kenya. Hao watapata kura vipi when you are not campaigning? I've never seen a president in Kenya who is campaigning with the energy the President Ruto is using. He's campaigning every day from morning to evening. And he's campaigning with projects, he's campaigning with programs, he's campaigning with benefit to wananchi. So let us continue to embrace our country, and let us make sure that our people will benefit from the program.
Pale nyuma masomo ilikuwa na matatizo. 2022 capitation ilikuwa chini. Walimu walikuwa hawatoshi. Pesa ya kusomesha watoto wetu ilikuwa haitoshi. Hata program ya university ilikuwa karibu inasambaratika. Lakini kwa kutambua umuhimu wa vijana, we fixed the education program that was broken. Mimi naona viongozi wengine wanasema mambo mengi, wanajaribu kutupatia lecture ya mambo ya education system. We want to tell them, we are fixing your mess. You messed the education system. There were no teachers in class. There was inadequate capitation. There was not enough money for universities and TVETs. 21 universities were facing closure because of insolvency. Please, spare us your pontification. Spare us the lectures you are lecturing us. We are simply fixing your mess. Today, we have more money going to capitation. This month, money for capitation was in school before students go to school, because education is important and it is the greatest empowerment we can give to our children. Number two, we have hired 100,000 teachers to fix the challenge of teacher shortage that you left behind. Number three, we have added more money for universities and TVETs to fix the problem of insolvency that was there in our universities. So we want to tell the rudderless, the leaderless, the agendaless, the planless opposition, that you are an opposition without alternative.
Hawa hawana akili. Kenya is suffering because it's under average leadership. Wale watu ambao wanatuongoza ndio shida. Shida sio inchi, shida hiyo akili kwanza tunaambiwa sasa. Wanasemekana ikina Kalonzo hawana akili, Rigiji hawana akili. Sasa wewe mimi nakuuliza, mtu ukiwa na akili, upewe serikali mahali watoto wanaenda shule. Kesho watoke shule hawaendi shule. Hiyo ndio akili kweli? Uko na akili kubwa sana. Wagonjwa hawana chakula hospitali, madawa hakuna. Wewe ni mtu wa akili sana. Barabara kama hii tulikuwa tunafanya hapa nyoka. Hata hii Mama Road hapa Murang'a tulianza na Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta ikwame. Nini ni watu wa akili zaidi. Wale wako na akili zaidi. Barabara kama hii Keno Marwa. When we were in government, this plan tulikuwa, I was the chairman of the government projects when we were in government. We were saying hii ni kitu ya kumalizika in 2
years. 30,000 and below in Kenya should not pay as you earn. You pay zero between 30,000 and 50,000. So you only pay 25%. We reduce that by 5%. So those who are earning 50,000, first you will benefit because your first 30,000, you pay zero. Then the next 20,000, you pay 25%. We have agreed with His Excellency the President. He has directed me to take to Parliament a proposal. I'm not even waiting for finance bill to come in June. I am taking tax laws amendment bill to Parliament. Once Parliament resumes, we are preparing that bill. Take to them to approve.
Tunajaribu kusema watu waliouliwa walipwe fidia na serikali. Hao bado wanasema watu waende, wengine wa ODM waende kwa streets wauawe. Tutakubali ama tutakataa? Na ndio maana tunasema hao watu, maandamano yote yenye wameaienda, hao wanasiasa wa kazi yao ni kupayuka tu, watueleze maandamano yao imefanya nini. Sisi vile tulitoka last year tulipeleka chama, sasa hii chama iko na broad based.
Ninajua hatutarudi kwa barabara na hatuendi kwa barabara kwa sababu ya mtu. Hatuendi kwa barabara kwa sababu kuna mtu anataka kukua superior. We are not going to give you that chance to become superior. To get the supremacy that you want.
Mtu yote mnajaribu kucheza na Dr. Oburu Oginga tutamtimua. Tunasema tunataka kuona hiyo delegates convention iitwe ndio tujue sasa sauti ya kina nani itakuwa ya wachache ama ya wengi. Itakuwa ya vijana ama ya watu wengine wamepotea. Na sisi kama vijana tunasema kwamba Dr. Oburu Oginga kwa negotiations zake na serikali mtu asimfunze kufanya kazi yake. Katiba ya chama inasema yeye ndio our presidential candidate na tunasema kwamba daktari, you start the negotiations as you see fit. Sisi tuko nyuma yako daktari.
If you feel that you are very tired and you cannot listen to what Dr. Oburu Oginga is saying, please move and go and join other parties that you feel you will be very comfortable.
Kuna wale watu ambao unaona wanajitokeza wanatuambia, "Oh, baba aliniambia, mara mimi nimeota." Wewe umeota kitu gani? Wakati baba aliaga kama ametuacha tuko ndani ya broad based. Tulikuwa na macho na tulikuwa tunaona. Kama sisi tuliona, wewe mbona unatupatia ndoto zako? Wewe wacha tubaki mahali baba alituacha.
Right, welcome back to the program, and just in case you're joining us, this is The Inside, a show that comes to you every Tuesday 9 p.m. My name is Martin Macharia, and today we're going to have a discussion right here on The Inside. We're going to discuss matters to do with the state of the nation. Where are we at as far as the governance of this particular country is concerned? And of course, this particular minute, I'm joined by Daniel Mutua, who's an aspirant MCA ward, who is aspiring for that particular seat. Now we're going to discuss matters state of the nation. He is a young man, and he's going to tell us why, he is going to vie for the pipeline MCA seat. We've actually seen, most young people have actually, come up saying that they want these seats. Now we're going to talk about that much more in this particular program. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
And many thanks, of course, making time to be with us here on the program.
Okay, also thank you for inviting me to your show. It's a great show, and I love your studios.
All right, thank you so much. And to start with, let's talk about matters to do with healthcare. We've seen Nairobi healthcare workers, the UHC, have actually been on strike in Nairobi County. So what do you make of the current state of healthcare in Nairobi County?
Healthcare, to start with, the healthcare is the backbone of the country.
Yeah.
So when the healthcare of a nation fails, it means that the nation has failed and the current administration has failed.
Yeah.
And the issue of having problems with the healthcare personnel is an issue that has been recurring time to time, government to government. We have been having agreements that have been agreements zenye zimekuwa zikisainiwa kila government.
Right.
Then we have not seen any government that has implemented the agreements that they have been having with the health workers. When you look at health workers around the world, they are the most paid people in the country. But now come to the Kenyan health sector, you find that the public health workers are overworked and they are never paid, or they are underpaid. We have been having issues of interns who are demanding a better pay because the work that the doctors who are employed is the same work that the interns have been doing.
Yeah.
So it's that time as a country we look into these issues. Let's tackle one thing at a time. Because we are seeing this government is venturing into various projects and into various sectors. So can we come up with a strategy or a way that we can run this country? Because healthcare is very pathetic, not only in Nairobi but also in the other counties. Recently we have seen some governors complain that SHA has not been remitting their payment to the county,
Right.
and he was threatening that he will withdraw from the social authority.
Yeah.
So healthcare in Kenya is still at its knees. So we have not seen anyone that has a clear plan on how he's going to transform the health sector in the country. Also to add, in the health sector in Kenya, not only, it's not about the salaries, also the doctors and the nurses are crying for better working positions, better working stations. We find that, for example, in these big referral hospitals, we have congestions and we have very many patients who are waiting to be attended to. This leads to doctors are getting exhausted and the interns, they are unmotivated because they earn peanuts. So what I would like to urge the government and future leaders like us who are aspiring to be leaders in this country, and probably I hope that the Kenyans will this time realize that we need a change. We can't be talking of the same issues time to time, year to year, government to government. So if you are an aspiring leader, kindly you have to familiarize yourself with the health sector around the world. You have to familiarize yourself with what has to be done in the health sector in the country, so that if the residents give you a chance, you will have a very elaborate plan of sorting this healthcare mess.
Fair enough.
Okay.
And in regards to that particular, protests that were held in Nairobi County of the UHC, they cited that, workers who have served for over 6 years on temporary contracts say they continue to lack payment, employment pensions, and other essential benefits despite their years of service. These are 6 years of service. So who do we fault? Is it the president? Is it the county government? Or is it the Ministry of Health?
Probably the problem falls back at the Ministry of Health.
Yeah.
The people that represent the workers, the societies that these healthcare workers have joined. Because the people that go to sign these deals with the government, they are the same people that should follow up with the deals that they have signed with the government. For instance, we look at the people who have been elected to lead the healthcare sector or the Ministry of Health. The current Minister of Health, is he a nurse? Is he a doctor? No, that's not his profession. His profession. So the president of the governments that are coming in future, the people that they put into ministries, they should be the people that have studied and they have practiced that occupation.
Yeah.
You cannot take an engineer and you give him a Ministry of Health department to head. Probably that ministry will collapse, and that person will not have the interest of the healthcare workers at heart, because he doesn't understand the challenges that these health workers go through when they are at work. Because only a doctor can understand the problems of a doctor. Only a teacher can understand the problems of a teacher. So in future, the government or the president will have to appoint people who are qualified and people who are supposed to be appointed to the right departments or ministries.
All right.
Yeah.
And you spoke about the Social Health Authority, that is SHA. Actually, the SHA actually came to to replace the defunct the National Health Insurance Fund, that is NHIF, which was actually there in the regime of the former President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Now, from where you sit, has SHA improved access to healthcare, or has it worsened the access to healthcare?
SHA has really worsened the situation of healthcare in this country. Yeah. Comparing it to NHIF, we have more complaints. We have more complaints in regards to how NHIF operated. Not in consideration of the teething or the people that are working with the system. They have not familiarized themselves with the system. But SHA, to start with, was a project that should have never been implemented. Yeah. This is a dead project that we are pumping money daily into. And you ask yourself, does the government has to convince a resident or a Kenyan to register to something that will help themselves, that will help them when they are in need? We have been seeing chiefs and everyone in government telling Kenyans to register to SHA, but the truth is that they are not telling the people that if you register, you will have to pay. Yeah. So people are registering and they are not paying the premiums, and when they get sick and they go to the hospitals, they are not getting the healthcare, and they keep complaining that we were told to register, but we are not the social health authority is not paying the amount that they claim to pay. So it's high time that the Kenyans are told the truth that if you register for SHA, you will have to pay the premium. Yeah.
All right. And speaking about the universal health coverage, is it achievable in the current model, or does it require urgent restructuring?
Looking at the current UHC, it has its challenges, but we are trying as a country. But also we have to modernize it, or we have to equip it with the modern ways of how healthcare covers operate around the country. We have to look at what other countries that have succeeded in healthcare, what they are doing, so that we incorporate that with our UHC. Yeah. So it's high time that we put minds together. Let's keep improving these things slowly by slowly. Let's not operate with the same system over and over for years, and we have seen that it's failing. Sometimes it picks up, sometimes it goes down. So I think the problem is that the world has left us behind. So let's keep up with what is going on in the healthcare sector.
All right, fair enough. And actually, recently we actually saw the CS for Health, that is Eden Duale, actually said that they will crack down on the rogue hospitals who are siphoning money from the patients, saying that SHA is not working, and demanding more money from the patients. Now, from where you sit, we've actually seen, not once, actually, we saw a woman, actually, that was 2025, said that, SHA is not working, and proceeded to the Ministry of Health, that is, I believe, in Afya Center, where they were having a board meeting, and, the woman actually went inside and said that we were from this particular hospital, and SHA is not working, and I've been paying the amounts that they pay. This woman actually was arrested days later. Now, from where you sit, is SHA working for you?
Currently, SHA is working, but it's not working to all Kenyans. Yeah. We still have some issues. But for me, I have paid all the premiums, but there are some times that the system is down. There are some times that you are told that SHA is not covering these medicines, SHA is not covering these illnesses or these sicknesses. So SHA is still at the teething, or the people who structured it, they didn't have a clear plan on how they are going to implement it, because the main agenda that SHA was getting implemented is that people wanted to siphon money from the government. We were not told clearly where the funds that we have been contributing to NHIF, where those funds went. There is no transaction or anything that has been shown of where those funds have gone. On the rogue hospitals, it's very clear that when the rogue hospitals, when Kenya started unmasking these rogue hospitals, some were belonging to members of parliament, to people in government, or to their proxies. And after Kenyans discovering that the SHA portal is showing how the hospitals have been paid, are the same people that are the same minister that has been saying that we have rogue hospitals. They scrapped that option from the SHA portal. So right now you can no longer see what which hospital has been paid, how much, for what. This indicates that the minister and the Ministry of Health and all these political figures, they are right in the middle of the rogue hospitals that is going on, because healthcare has been one sector that as Kenya we have been losing money into, because Kenyans pump money daily into this sector called healthcare and insurance. So probably we have, as Kenyans, to ask questions. We have to keep asking questions, because when this site was closed and the story of rogue hospitals died like that, because the minister assured us that there will be actions that will be taken, but up to date we have never seen anyone that has been taken to a court of law, charged, and funds recovered that were paid wrongly to the wrong hospitals.
Right, you've announced yourself that maybe the SHA, that is the Social Health Authority, it's teething problems, and from where you sit, should the government actually implement a model where, if I didn't get the president wrong, he actually said that SHA is coming to, to make people equal. If I'm earning this amount of money from my salary, I'll be paying a higher amount than this person earning maybe a 5,000 per month. The 5,000 per month will actually be paying a smaller amount, and maybe someone earning maybe 100,000 will be paying a higher amount. Now, from where you sit, we've seen actually people saying, me, I'm paying 600, the other one is paying 300, the other one is paying 200. Do you foresee a situation where the government can actually say this person is earning higher than this one, and how do they come with these structures where they say, you Martin, you'll be paying 200?
Probably talking about the deductions and the premiums that people pay. The payslip holders of this country, they are the ones that are suffering in the hands of this country, of this in the hands of the current government. If you look around, we have private business owners that earn more money than the people that are employed or the people that have pay slips. But the people that are in businesses, their monies are not accounted for. So there is no a very tamper-proof plan on how to calculate how much a person is earning and calculating their premiums. So the only clear way that the SHA is getting the premiums is through the payslip orders. But out here we have people who are paying low premiums, but they are making more money than the other people that are in private sector and in government.
Right, and the Ministry of Health have actually announced itself that a new scheme must have hitches here and there, hiccups. And do you think like the government is actually testing this scheme with people's life, because health is a critical matter in the country, and people are suffering out here because of various diseases, illnesses. Do you foresee a situation where the government is actually testing something with people's life?
Yeah, I see that. Healthcare is something that the government should never play with. is something that government should never experiment with.
Yeah.
Because right now we have people who are dying in hospitals because they cannot access SHA, because SHA cannot offer their services to them on time.
Correct.
We have people who are dying in hospitals benches because SHA did not do what it's supposed to do. That is paying premiums, that's paying hospitals on time. And the system glitches, they have been affecting Kenyans. We have Kenyans that have been dying because of system glitches. So the government should never have implemented the SHA before they are very sure that they have developed a tamper-proof system that will never glitch, and that will have a backup plan in case it glitches. You should never play with the lives of Kenyans. We are not guinea pigs. On the issue of guinea pigs, we have been seeing that the billionaires of the world have been bringing their medicines to Kenya to test. The government is allowing Kenyans to be used as guinea pigs. This will never be allowed in any country that is developed in the Pearl of Africa, in the capital city of Africa. We should not be allowing things like this.
All right. Yeah. Now let's talk matters to do with education. We've actually seen, towards the onset of January, we've seen the transition, the grade 10 transition, where we saw, parents citing, the high cost of stationery and uniforms, and as well as school fees. They don't know which textbooks to buy because, some actually don't know whether from grade 10, the next grade your child is, heading to. Now, from where you sit, is the competency-based education curriculum, promised practical skills in the CBA? Do you foresee a situation where, this curriculum is actually, moving too fast than, the system can sustain?
Yeah, to start with, hao wazazi tuliwaambia vizuri last year, endeleeni kusema tuta, January inafika mpeleke watoto shule. Now, January came, the CBC pupils were transitioning. Yeah. And we have been seeing parents crying that capitation is not there, that their children have been placed in institutions that they never believed that they will be placed into. So I think it's high time that when parents are supporting an initiative, that they always evaluate it, and that they always listen to what the young people tell them, because the most parents currently, they are old, they don't understand these things. So sisi Gen Z tukiwaambia mjue next year capitation imetolewa, so mtaongezewa pesa fulani, ama mjue hii system ya CBC haifanyi, itakuwa na mashida. But these parents tell us you are young, unajua nini, but it's now evident that they are the ones that are suffering. On the issue of CBC, even the teachers that are supposed to teach our children the CBC, they are not even sure of what they are teaching. Now it has forced the government to tell the teachers, come, let us teach you how to teach CBC. And time is going. Our children are growing. And I see in future, the first batch of CBC will be of very poor performance, or of people who have not been taught what has to be taught on CBC. That even the experts we have in education, they don't understand what is CBC.
All right. I personally actually did 844 system. And now they say that E is exceeding expectation in the new curriculum, that is the competency-based education curriculum. Now, from where you sit, our parents understanding, this, they actually know number ones, know number two, the top three, in our era, they used to be, awarded number 1, 2, and 3, and they used to be graded. A was the highest, and E was the lowest. And from where you sit, our parents actually, embracing this. E is exceeding expectations. Are they really understanding this competency-based curriculum?
Not really. The parents don't understand anything, because 844, according to me, was the best. Was the best for the country, in accordance with where our country has reached. We are far away from the time that we should have implemented CBC. First, we should have made 844 a success, so that we can transition slowly to we can transition slowly to CBC. Because on the grading, when you say a child is exceeding expectation or is approaching expectation, it's not very clear where the child is standing. But in the 844 system, you are seeing the marks, you are seeing that the child has got 50 out of 100, so you know that's average. But when the teacher just writes exceeding expectation or meeting expectation, that does not clearly indicate where the child has improved or where the child has failed. That brings also the issue of how will employers evaluate their interviewees on performance. How will they know the correct people that they will employ? Because let's say, for instance, in the 844 system, if you have 50%, there was proof to prove that you have got that 50%. But now here, you can do an average of that. But in this, we are just choosing words. We are using exceeding, approaching, or meeting. So,
so is it easy to forge a certificate? They're doing KPSEA, KGSEA, and what about? Do you think it is easy actually to forge these certificates?
Yeah, probably it's very easy because now we have been seeing the final results of CBC. They have been compiled from when the child starts grade 1. So let's say I am a parent and I want my child to succeed in the future, and I want him to be an engineer or an architect. So I will befriend the class teacher or the teachers that are marking the CATs and the KGCA and whatever. So they will always be grading my child high, so that when these small exams are added up, my child in the main exam he will have exceeded the expectation. But in reality, mtoto wangu ni danda kabisa. And when we have products of people like that, we'll have buildings falling in this country, we'll have electricity burning our houses in this country.
And also take on, now we've seen when you do a resemblance with 844 system, actually they're doing like from class 1 to class 6, then the child goes to form 1 to around form 6, I believe. Do you foresee a situation where we are overburdening this child, giving this particular kid form 1 assessment, and maybe class 6, that person is actually around 13 years. Are we burdening our students?
Yeah, we are burdening our students not only on education but also psychologically. Because we have been to high schools and into secondary schools, and we have been seeing the life that is in secondary school. So taking a child of 12 years or 10 years to a secondary school, that is psychological torture. A 10-year or 12-year child doesn't even know how to wash his clothes, doesn't know how to mend his clothes or to iron his clothes. So this is torture. And we have seen if they are going up to class 6, what about the buildings that were built on class 7 and class 8? Those are resources that are going to waste. So instead, we should have found a way on how we are going to utilize the primary classes that are blank or are empty at this point, because we have desks, we have dorms that are belonging to class 7 and class 8 that are going to waste. So,
right. Yeah, and before they introduced STEM in the competency-based education, we actually saw that they said that mathematics is not compulsory, but later on they actually said, oh, we must make mathematics compulsory. Are these people, can we trust these people in our education matters?
Okay, according to Ruto, what Ruto is doing is that he wants to enter the books of history that he changed the education, he changed the healthcare. He wants his name to be read in the history books. He is making sure that he changes everything, so that whenever we talk about CBC, we remember Ruto. Whenever we talk about SHA, we remember Ruto. So the people that structured this CBC, they were not familiar with what they were structuring. They were copying it from other countries, but we have not sat with these countries and evaluated how they came up with this CBC and how it's working in their in their country. For example, if you take right now in CBC, they are saying that if a child wants to study architecture, engineering, it will start at the young age. Do we really have the resources, and do we really have the facilities to support that? Do we have facilities in high school that can support engineering? Because currently, even we have shortages of colleges and universities that can teach engineering, that can teach medicine. Now you are increasing the need of resources. We should have first dealt with the resources. Are we able to teach engineering, medical at the high school level? But I think that's where this government messed it up. But they are being chased. They are being chased by time. They want to accomplish very many things at a very short time without plan. Yeah.
Right, now let's talk matters about, the varsity education. You actually saw for the better part of 2025, towards the end of 2025, you actually saw the university lecturers actually down with their tools, and they were on strike for at least 3 months. From where you sit, what's actually happening in our universities? Because this is actually not the first time we are having strikes in public universities, especially. What is really happening in the education system in universities?
What's happening in the education system right now is an issue that has been caused by misplaced yani mali serikali ina concentrate is not what is supposed to be concentrating. Where will be
misplaced priorities?
Yeah, misplaced priorities. Yeah. Because right now, where are we building stadiums, and yet our football has not reached the high profile of using such stadiums? Yeah. We should be channeling that money to education and to healthcare. The backbone of this country, it starts with education, we go to healthcare, we go and to security and to agriculture. So the government, if it fails in any of these, lecturers are the ones, lecturers and teachers, the ones that teach doctors, teach engineers, teach all these careers. Yeah. So if you mess up with the lecturers or teachers, in future you'll have very rogue professionals. And these rogue professionals will never have a chance at the world market, or will never be able to export quality workers to the world. So the issue of lecturers, the students should stand firm. Msimame na lecturers wenyu. Lecturer wakisema wanafinywa, pia nyinyi mseme comrades. Wewe ukikaa pale kwa doma ama mahali umekomboa nyumba, lecturers wako strike, ile pesa ulipewa na mzazi ni kidogo, na by that time you are not going to classes. That's wasting your parents' resources. So comrades should join in solidarity to the lecturers, and they push the government to support or to implement what they agreed with the lecturers.
Right, well said there that, you mess up education, you mess up the future.
Yeah.
Right, and recently we actually saw the better part of 2025, edging closer to 2026, the Treasury CS, that is John Badi, actually said that the government might not be able, to fund, what they call, free primary education or secondary education. The government actually give capitations to schools. Now, the Treasury CS actually said that the government might not be able, to fund that. And yet again, the head of state, was saying that will be done. So who's right?
Probably these are people who are contradicting themselves. The government or the president doesn't give his juniors the time to control their ministries or their departments. The president wants to be the communication officer of every department, wants to launch everything, including classes and desks. Yet we have education officers in that county. We have the Minister of Education. So on the issue of capitation to schools or the issue of free education, we have seen MPs like MP Didinyoro that has made education free in his constituency. So the other MPs or the other leaders, these are just great people. They should come up, they should come clean, they should show us records, they should show us how they have spent their CDF. And on the issue of CDF, why is the government giving people money to pay the government? The government should just build structures and build infrastructure at the schools to buy books and make the education free, because CDF has been used as a campaign tool by the MPs. This CDF should just be paid directly to the schools. On the other thing of making education free is that politicians hate a nation that is educated, because when you look at the Gen Zs, these are the products of Mwai Kibaki. These are the people that studied during the free education of Mwai Kibaki. So they have seen that when the people get enlightened, or when the people get educated, they will take them to account. They will read bills, they will know what the bills say, and they will take the government to account. So the government is trying to control the education of the masses. It's trying to control the knowledge of the people, because when a lot of people get the knowledge, they will know what's right, who is conning them, who is stealing their funds, and they will change the leadership that is there. So these people want to rule us forever and ever by making sure that we never get a quality education.
All right. And speaking of schools and the capitation problems, we've seen ghost schools, ghost students, and it is in the public domain where a cabinet secretary comes and says we've flagged a school which has been receiving money, capitation from government, but this school doesn't exist. We've been disbursing capitation to students in these schools. These students don't exist. So who should be held accountable? The Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Education coming and saying that we have flagged. Who's responsible? Who should be held responsible, to these ghost schools and ghost students?
Okay, ghost schools probably come up because of the issue of rigging elections. They set up these ghost schools so that they can set up ghost polling stations, so that they can use those polling stations to rig votes from those regions. So the issue of rogue hospitals is the same issue of rogue schools. You will find that those ghost schools have a principal, and they have names that have been registered as students in those. Now we have to call for a tribunal to investigate these ghost schools. Let's track the money. The money always has a trail. Let's trail the money. The money has left the Ministry of the Treasury. It's gone to the Ministry of Education. It's gone to the ghost school. Where did the money end up from the ghost school? Let's find these people and take them to account. Now, on the issue of taking them to account, let's look at the person that should put these cases up. That's the DPP. The DPP is no longer free. He's influenced by politics, and is influenced by political figures and the presidency. So I'm not seeing the end to these ghost schools unless the people, and the chance we have is 2027. The people should now, you are the ones that will save yourself. Hakuna mtu atakuja kuokoa, mwanasiasa hawezi kuokoa. Many politicians are there for their interest. They are there to protect. Mtu akishapata ghost school kadhaa anaingia pale ndio protect interest zake. Kama anafanya biashara ya magendo anaingia pale ndio apate protection, because the law prohibits the prosecution of public officers unless the DPP or a department approves that, or you have to take the issue to parliament or to senate so that they can approve the prosecution. So hawa ni magaidi wote. Mtu akifanya ugaidi huko, akifanya ukora, anaona acha niingie siasa, I protect myself.
All right, speaking about ghost schools being ghost polling stations, let's take a look on the political side of it. President William Ruto, when he came to power in 2022 during his campaign trail, he used to say that actually in his manifesto he had something called BETTER, the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, where the monarchy was actually the currency to be traded for the votes. And the monarchy was actually, promised a lot of things, the mama mboga and the border riders. The president was actually saying that we will want to uplift the mama mboga and the border riders, the hustlers. You used to term them as the hustlers. Now, from where you sit, 2 years later and counting, how will you assess the manifesto and the delivery of President William Ruto?
On the delivery of President Ruto, I can give him 20% of 100. Because the things that he promised, they are contrary opposite of what he is doing right now. Because I think as Kenyans, we didn't understand the bottom-up transformation agenda. Right now, it's very clear that bottom-up chenye ilikuwa inamaanisha ni anakushika miguu na mwaga pesa zote ziko kwa mfuko. So President Ruto is a love of money. He loves taxing people, and President Ruto is a person that if he decides that he's going to do something, he decided that he's going to do the affordable housing, and he did it contrary to what the judiciary had stated. On the mama mbogas and the borders, it's high time that this should act like a wake-up call to you. Mumeshi kudanganywa, mtu anakuja walio mama mboga, watu wa bodaboda, au watu wa bodaboda sijui nini, tutapiga credit free, sijui nitawaletea bodaboda ya stima. Now, you should wake up. Nyi watu wa bodaboda na mama mboga, you are the same people that mkishikana vizuri mnaweza weka kiongozi mwenye mnataka pale. So msikubali kutumika na viongozi ati juu unakata mboga ama unaendesha bodaboda. Yeah.
And when he was inaugurated in Kasarani, the Moi International Sports Center that is in Kasarani, he pledged inclusivity, integrity and accountability. And looking at the state of governance today, has Kenya moved closer or further from the ideals?
Yeah, probably. Kenya is moving to the wrong direction. We left the Vision 2030 very early. In fact, where we missed the mark is 2013. And that's where we were told choices have consequences.
Yeah.
When we saved these people from the Hague, that's where we left the mark. We should have this issue. We should have dealt it with it on 2013.
Yeah.
Lakini sasa sisi tuliamua acha tusave watu wetu. Hata wazungu wanatuona tukiwa ajinga sana. Mtu akishapata kesi sasa ndio anatakikana. We had a pastor who was vying for president. How many votes did he get? He got peanuts. Sisi wa Kenya tunatakanga wale magaidi. Wewe kama hujaiba hakuna kuelect. Wewe ndio uko uibe 500 billion ya NYS, sasa ndio tutakusupport hapo. Tunaona huyu ako sawa. Huyu sasa ndio kiongozi. Ndio uko tuibie NHIF, tuibie nini? Sisi tutaona wewe ndio kiongozi. So the values of Kenya tuliziacha kitambo. Sasa tuko kwa msitu.
Right, and looking at President William Ruto's administration, is his administration being judged too harshly, or has it failed to meet expectations? Because even as we look back at the 2024 anti-government protest, the Gen Zs actually came and said that, the finance bill actually, they have some of the clauses that are harsh to the economy. And from where you sit, is the government actually being judged too harshly, or has it failed to meet expectations?
As a matter of fact, I can accept that President Ruto has really faced the real wrath of Kenyans. And this has been caused because as Gen Zs, you look at Gen Z wengi walimaliza shule 2016, 2017, 2013. So that's when we came to adulthood. Tukaenda pale college, tukaenda pale university, tunaona mzazi wenye ana struggle na fees. In fact, many of us we didn't want to be associated with the politics. Wanasema wacha mwenye anaingia aingie. But now when it really came crumbling upon our lives is when we knew that we now have to get active into politics. And we had given our parents and our guardians the chance to make the choices for us. But these people have been failing us election to election. They have been failing us from Kenyatta, from Moi, all these governments wamekuwa kituletea tu watu wenye ni wakora kabisa. So sasa tumeambia wazazi wetu wakae kando, na mzazi wetu kikwambia 2027 ati kura tunapiga hivi, wewe ulete kierera tunaenda kupiga hivi. That on the voting day you'll never find your ID. I urge all the Gen Zs, mzazi wako ukimwambia kura tunapiga hivi on the right side, ukisikia kona kichwa mang'aa, hiyo siku tafutana na ID yake ufiche. And that way utakuwa umesaidia hii Kenya. Now on the Gen Z, let's not get corrupted. It's now the chance that we should show our voice. Let's pick the voting cards even if we have lost faith in the ABC, even if we don't have hope or we don't have a candidate in these elections. Let's hope in the future we still have time. We hope that our young leaders, they will have the courage to pick up. President is calling them. Babuino president is calling you. Ndindinyoro president is calling you. Kina Caleb president is calling you. Now, president is like a beautiful girl. When a beautiful girl calls you, it's you. You have to run. President is a beautiful girl. You have to run and take it. Because if you delay, another man will take it. And Ruto will take the presidency, or the other people will take the presidency.
All right. Now, supporters say reforms takes time. Critics say pain is immediate. From where you sit, Mr. Daniel, should Kenyans expect, relief, not explanations from the current government? Because the current government actually came in with a lot of promises. Actually, remember the head of state was actually saying, in my first 100 days during, the presidential debate before he actually came to power, in my 100 days I'll do this and this and this. It's actually 2 years and counting. Or rather, actually 3 years and counting. From where you sit, should Kenyans actually by now start, seeing whatever was actually promised being, implemented?
Yeah, probably in those 100 days that he was promising. But hey, Ruto has really taught us a lesson, because alikuwa anasema nikiweka tu Biblia chini hivi in 100 days. Sijui 50 stadiums, sijui the stadium in Wote. Yeah. I really thank Kenyans for electing Ruto, because he has awakened the minds of Kenyans. And right now, the Kenyans have really learned from President Ruto. In fact, when the Bible says that leaders come from God, mi ule Mungu najua hao viongozi tuko nao, Mungu wangu hawezi niletea watu kao. So na kama ni aliwalete, God brought them ndio atufunze adabu. He is using the current regime as a punishment to us, so that we can know how to make good choices. So President Ruto has really demonstrated that a good manifesto or good wordings during the campaigns don't really reflect the real person. Ngojea mtu ukimchagua ndio utajua the real person akishaingia hapo.
Right, now on June 25th of 2024, will actually go down in history that Kenya, witnessed one of the most dramatic protests in the country. And what that, the storming of parliament, what precedents that did the storming of parliament, show even to our international community?
June 24 is a day that will go into history of the world and of this country. That's the day that it shows Kenyans united, no matter their tribal lines, no matter their constituencies or their counties. It's the day that it really showed that Kenya has really grown, and Kenya is moving to the next level. And 2024 acted as a wake-up call to all leaders that we as Kenyans, we are now very brave, and we know what is to be done, and we have read the Constitution. We know very clearly what the Constitution requires of a leader, and that we'll take them into account. And we'll take them to account in an equal measure that they steal our funds. Ukiiba sana na sisi tunakujia sana. And in 2024 we really saw the opposition and the government really came together, and that shows that also the wezi na wale wanateteanga wezi walishikana wote. So we are still uniting the people, the Kenyans. So walishikana because the Gen Z or the June 25th was a threat not only to the government but also to the opposition, because tulikuwa nasema hatutaki kuona mwanasiasa yoyote na we also were against the opposition leaders who are hypocrite. The people who hide behind natetea wa Kenya na wanaenda huko wanatuibia pesa. So the opposition and the government they have succeeded in now bringing the tribal politics, because they know when we go on campaigns that are on ideologies and or are on issues that we will beat them on the ballot. But now they succeeded now in bringing the tribal. Now we have seen tribal kingpins arising from every region. They have now united and drive the tribal narrative, because this is the same narrative that they have been using since Moi was there to win elections. Because when Kenyans unite, no matter their tribal lines, will elect a leader that doesn't belong to my tribe but can deliver. We'll never be looking at a tribe. And that's how we'll go to change Kenya. So I hope before 2027, Kenyans will arise again and unite beyond tribes.
All right. And still on June 25th of 2024, the police response to the protest we witnessed, resulted in deaths of demonstrators, hundreds of demonstrators. And from where you sit, people were killed actually with live ammunition, others with rubber bullets. From where you sit, have you seen any relief to the families that lost their kins?
Not really. In fact, I am sad because I participated in those demos, and participating in those demos I led to the children of other mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers of other people to get killed in this protest, because I was part and parcel of the protest. And this really shows that the government is never remorseful or is not sorry of what they did. Na hii inaonyeshana ile madhara hii serikali ama watu wako serikali wanatuonyesha sisi kama wananchi, because they treated us like criminals. They treated us like trash, wakatua kama maumbu huko CBD. And the parents of these children have been crying day in day out. They have been saying that we are never compensated. In fact, Ruto promised to build a committee that will compensate these families. Compensation cannot bring back their loved ones, but it can ease the financial cry of them for the people that they were feeding them, the breadwinners of this family. So June 2024, we'll have to revisit that moment, because we are coming to take those seats at Gen Z. The people that we were in those protests, we are coming to take those seats. Na mtakujuko mkiwa retirement. So you better plan your retirement plan in Bali, in Singapore, in the United States, because we'll be coming for you hard, and we'll never want your community at that time will never protect you. We are coming for you. And on CBD, on June 25th CBD, bado the parliamentarians, the shameful parliamentarians, they are still working on the blood of the Gen Z. Mali yote mwili ya Gen Z ilikuwa imeanguka. That should be a sacred place. And in fact, when I become the next MCA of Pipeline, I will bring a motion to the Council of Nairobi that kila mahali Gen Z alikuwa ameanguka should plant a tree. Kama ni barabara iko hapo, acha ikue footpath, watu watumie magari mahali. You should not be stepping on the blood of our heroes. The blood of these people is crying from the graves.
All right, fair enough. And when President William Ruto actually withdrew the 2024 finance bill, we saw some politicians, actually the parliamentarians, who voted yes to that particular bill. When the president actually denied to assent that particular bill, the same MPs who voted yes actually said they actually lauded the president for not assenting the bill. So has the government, from where you sit, has the government actually captured the MPs? Because the same MPs who voted yes in support for that particular bill are the same MPs who are celebrating that the president did not assent that particular bill. What's your take on that?
Kenya sahi ina MP. Hao ni watu wa kulamba tu, analamba Ruto asubuhi na mchana. So hao watu walipiga yes, then Ruto akakataa hii bill, wanapiga makofi. That shows how kwa akili yako, yani you are very stupid. Even the world leaders, they were very shameful about Kenya, because how can you say that this bill is good, but when the president rejects it, you are there clapping and say that the president has done a very good job. This shows that the parliament has been captured by the state. Parliament is no longer free from intimidation from political. Now, where does the intimidation or the coercing of parliamentarians come from? Because wameiba CDF, wameiba hii, so wanaambiwa lazima mfanye hii ama tuwaletee kesi. So, in fact, 2027 election should be very easy. Tumeshapata mwa Kenya. Tunaprint hiyo list ya 2024 bill, mwenye alivote no, mwenye alivote yes. So unaangalia tu kwa yes, unamwekea tick. Kwa yes, unamwekea tick. But also, there are people that who voted yes, but they are conmen, they are political conmen. So we should be vigilant. But kama ulipiga 2024 ati yes, hiyo ni kupigia Mkenya ati anyongwe. We especially holders as private business people, we will kick you out of that parliament, and we are coming to take that parliament. 90% of the people that should get to parliament next, they should be people that are 30 years and 40 years. We don't want these old men who should be on retirement. They should go and enjoy their grandchildren as they wait for us to come for them and prosecute them.
All right, now Mr. Daniel actually, should shun, vulgar language because you're on live television. And now, from where you sit, President William Ruto actually, withdrawing the 2024 finance bill, did that mark, a listening government or a forced to retreat government?
Okay, this government was never forced to retreat. They just pretended that they have...
Did that show, the government is actually listening? Or did that show, the government was actually forced to retreat?
No, not really. The government did not listen. They just played the minds of Kenyans. Because later we had some MPs saying that the same bill that you guys rejected, we passed it chapter to chapter without publicizing it, without it going to televisions and the media.
Correct.
So that was just a PR of the president. It was just telling Kenyans that I am a listening president, but the things that they have done chini ya maji, it's contrary to what we were fighting for. But one day we shall revisit. Yeah.
Now, when the government was actually coming to power, they cited, debt crisis. The head of state actually said that, I've found this regime at a debt crisis of, this particular amount. And he said that in my regime, we will not, will not maximize on, borrowing. But Kenyans now are being overtaxed. So are we overtaxed in the name of repaying debts?
Okay, Kenyans don't have an issue of getting overtaxed. We want to get overtaxed and we see where our money goes. We want to get overtaxed and we see healthcare working. We want to see security working. We want to see sports working. We want to see education getting streamlined. But now you are overtaxing us, but the same issues we had with the Kenyatta government is the same issues that we are having right now, but you are collecting more money from us. Now, this what makes Kenyans lose trust in this government. And in fact, President Ruto, I think is the first president that has lied to Kenyans na anawachekesha tu hivi. In fact, mimi nikienda mbinguni nipate Ruto hapo, I just know definitely nimeingia hell, because this person lies day in day out. This person anakudanganya tu mkiangaliana hivi na akwambia 2 term, and you find people saying 2 term there because they cannot understand what he promised. Even they don't remember his manifesto.
Yeah. And most of the times when a person is actually elected to the position of a president, they come and say, from where I found this particular office at, it was in jeopardy. And now that begs the question, should the incoming leader say that, I found this office in this particular way, should the person actually start blaming the current regime or start, implementing ways on how to, recover that?
Okay, now the issue of blaming the previous governments, that's the first corruption starts when the government enters into office.
Yeah.
This government was when it was entering into this leadership, they told us that they found empty coffers. What evidence do we have as Kenyans that the coffers were empty? What happened when we were having a transition of powers to this current regime? You cannot, I don't trust this government that there were empty coffers. This was just a scheme to steal billions and trillions of Kenyan shillings into people's pocket. So, as Kenyans, we should hold these governments into account. That wefanya kazi, stop blaming the previous government. And we want these departments and ministries. We want the Ministry of Treasury. We want the Ministry of Health. After each year, we evaluate them. Tuone mulianzia hapa mkafikia hapa. Mulipewa 30 billion. How have you spent this 30 billion? Show us receipts. We want everything. Kila kitu ikuwe clear to the public. So that hata serikali ingine ikikuja ikituambia we found empty coffers, so you know, okay, yeah, before we voted on the previous night, the coffers were empty.
All right, and the KNCHR reported at least 82 abductions linked to activism since mid-2024. And that begs the question: are we returning to the authoritarianism, leadership in the country?
Yeah, probably.
Because actually we've seen abductions, we've seen excesses, police excesses, and the manner in which these abductions are actually conducted, it's not, it's actually not arresting someone, because most of the times you hear that this man was picked by people supposedly to be security details, and the person is not actually in a police cell, is not actually in a particular station. So are we returning slowly to that authoritarianism leadership in the country?
Yeah, probably we return to that very early. And
what does that actually mean, even as we head to the next election, 2027?
As we head to the next election, this should act as a wake-up call to Kenyans and to parents that you saw people getting abducted, and why were they abducted? Because they were fighting for their rights. And now, who are the people that were abducting these people? They are the police, they are the plainclothes police, they are the DCI who are abducting these people. Now, how can a person that is tasked to protect you is the same person that is abducting you? The same person that these people live in Mikebe houses, and we are also fighting for their rights. With the young peanuts, we are fighting for their pay increase, but they are the same people that are being given orders to come and abduct us, young leaders. Also, I want to urge the young people, siogope, the people that were abducted, the people that were killed, they died because of us. So let's also show these parents that your children died for a cause. Let's also put our lives on the line. Let's fight for our rights. Now, on the issue of this regime returning the dictatorship that we have been having.
Yeah.
Now, mtoto wa nyoka ni nyoka. Where did President Ruto start his political career? He started it with President Moi. President Moi was a dictator. So you learn from your master. So it's good when we are electing a person as a president or into leadership, even an MCA, we look at your history. Yeah. Who is your master? Where did you learn what you know right now from? Because that's the person that you will become.
All right, fair enough. And even as we talk matters to do with the 2027 general elections, the Gen Z actually, were vocal in 2024 and the better part of 2025. Last year, actually, we saw the by-elections which were held in 6 constituencies here in the country. And someone may think actually that the younger generation who are vocal in the streets should actually replicate that in the ballot. But in most of the elections that were held in the 6 constituencies, there were no the number of youth who actually participated in those particular elections were minimal. Why is that?
Probably the young people, they were unmotivated. They didn't have candidates in those areas. And the candidate, and you look at the geographical areas where this by-elections were held, it's far from Nairobi. And you find that jobs are no longer available at the mashinani.
Yeah.
So many Gen Z or many young people have moved to the cities, Nairobi, Mombasa, and Kisumu, to look for jobs and to work for their parents back at home.
Yeah.
So this indicates that the older generation is still their mind has not moved into the new way of politics. It has not moved into the new way of politics of ideologies and principles.
Yeah.
So the Gen Zs right now don't have a presidential candidate. All they are saying is that if we don't see a candidate, Kalonzo hapo tunaweza jaribu, because he seems to be a good leader. He doesn't have a scandal. He seems to be a calm. So we don't expect abductions from Kalonzo. We don't expect young people to be shot at CBD by Kalonzo.
All right. And when you speak about, the upcoming general elections in 2027, what do you make of, we've actually seen recently that Rigathi Gachagua, who is the Democracy for Citizens Party leader, that is Rigathi Gachagua, and as well as, he was campaigning actually during the by-elections, he was campaigning for Newton Karish in the Mbeere North constituency for MP, and the ticket for DP, which is actually, the party leader is actually Justin Muturi. And there was another contester, it was actually a highly contested seat, that is Leo Wamudende, who actually took the helm in that particular constituency. We saw Kithure Kindiki, that is the deputy president, rallying behind Leo Wamudende. We saw them being in Mbeere North for actually a week or more, campaigning for their candidates. Now, has this shifted from, the ideologies of a leader, as a leader, you should come and tell us, if elected as MP, I'll do this and this and this and this. But we actually saw, in this case, we actually saw it was who has, this particular base. Even as the election were concluded, we saw the UDA party allied to President William Ruto actually said that we've taken, more MP seats than, the opposition. And the opposition said that, we were just starting. Has this shifted from the ideologies of what someone may may look at and say that as a leader I'll do this and this and this? Has it shifted from the interest of the monarch?
Yeah, probably. In fact, if you ask many Kenyans what they remember about the by-election, they will tell you Wamudende, and that's all. They will tell you about Seth Panyako crying at the police station, but none will tell you about the manifestos that they had, but about the ideologies that they had. So, in fact, even if you go to social media, you'll never find any forum where these people were talking about real issues, were talking about manifestos. These people are just sloganeering, and those by-elections were done to show might between the opposition and the government. So this doesn't reflect the real 2027 election. This was just a fight between the opposition and the government. Now in 2027, every MP, every MCA will never have the backup of opposition or the government. President Ruto will be busy looking for votes. Gachagua and the other opposition leaders will be looking for votes on their own. So hakutakuwa na ile ati ya kuacha tukuje tukuongelee. You'll have to express yourself as a leader and tell the people what you did, what you did, and what you want to do to the people. Because we have been seeing leaders who have been not performing, but wanangojea tu inuliwe mkono ambiwe tosha na wanaingia. But now they are tasked. It's in 2027. That's when tutaona watu wakitoa kijasho tuambie miaka 5 ulifanya nini na utatufanyia nini.
All right. Now, speaking about President William Ruto and his regime, we actually saw that President William Ruto brought the opposition. We actually saw before he brought the leaders allied to the opposition. The Gen Z actually demanded the head of state to scrap his cabinet. The head of state actually did that, but we actually saw President William Ruto had an tete-to-tete with Raila Amolo Odinga, the late. And we actually saw some members of the ODM coming to the cabinet as cabinet secretaries, the likes of Treasury CS, that is John Badi, the likes of former governor for Mombasa, that is Ali Hassan Joho. So is this, statesmanship in the name of unity, or is it for a tactic for political survival?
Yeah, this is a tactic for political survival, and these people are using the backs of Kenyans to benefit on their own. These are people that are getting to the CS positions to build their businesses, to protect their interest. And I think Kenyans should now have woken that they should not elect a leader because of their political party or the leader that is they are associated with, or the leader that came to look for votes for them. They should even elect a person that doesn't have a party or doesn't have a godfather. Because when you elect a person that is that has a master, when he gets to that position, he will serve the interest of that master. Akiambiwa uniletee 300 million, atatafuta venye ataibia 300 million. Party ikisema tunataka kila mtu milioni moja, anatafuta. So corruption tu bado itaendelea, because these political parties are the ones that have been propagating corruption. They are the ones that have been giving us incompetent leaders, and people who are not qualified to be called weshimiwas.
All right, now, during that broad-based agreement between the late Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, who was the then party leader of the Orange Democratic Movement, the broad-based government, was this, strengthening, cohesion, or was it diluting, the role of opposition? You'll remember that when the government was actually, the UDA government was actually coming to power, the Orange Democratic Movement was on the opposition, and actually, what binds them with the government is the 10-point agenda, the broad-based government signed between them and the UDA party. So is this diluting the opposition and their oversight?
Yeah, probably the role of opposition is to oversee the government. But now, what happens when the opposition joins the government? Who will oversee the government? Yeah. The government cannot oversee itself. So the issue that they are hiding behind is that they want to unite this country. They want the national cohesion to be good. But in real, President Ruto was looking for was in a survival mode. So if Ruto did not do the handshake with the President Ruto, right now President Ruto will have been overthrown by the people. Yeah. So at that point he was looking for survival. So let them stop pretending that they want to unite the country. No, they are there just for the interest. They are there making deals. Recently we have been hearing 5 billion, 2 billion from who. So the opposition is just here to make its money from riding from the blood of Kenyans.
All right, and from where you say it, actually in those 3 years, there are actually some things that the head of state have actually done right. So from where you see it, what are some of the things that you feel that the head of state has actually done right?
Probably what the head of state has done right is that he has made Kenyans bankrupt. Kenyans are really crying. President Ruto has caused many patients to die because he brought in an incompetent health minister. He brought in a system that is not up to date, or a system that is not familiar with the current state of healthcare in the country. So President Ruto, I think on the things that he has achieved, there is nothing that he has achieved according to his manifesto, because he had promised that several stadiums. The only stadium that we know is the one at Talanta. And the Talanta stadium is actually funded by the World Bank, I believe. It is actually not the World Bank, the FIFA. Yeah. It is actually funded. It's not Kenyan money per se. Yeah. Now, on the issue of getting funded by FIFA, is the same issue with the Nyota Fund. Nyota Fund is not funded by the government of Kenya, but now they have structured it to look like the government is giving money to the young people. Now, how can you give a young person 20,000 and that person has not even opened a business of 1,000? How in this economy will a young person open a business of 20,000? Because you are telling them wakuwe uzaji wa mai. So kila mtu akiwa na mai, nani atanunua hapo? Kila mtu, yeah. Fair enough. I want us to wrap it up at that particular note. Thank you so much for sharing your views on the state of the nation currently. We do appreciate your time here on EBN television. I was joined by Daniel Mutua, who's an aspiring MCA pipeline ward, and of course we've been discussing state of the nation. Where are we at as far as governance of this particular country is concerned, even as we head closer to the road to 2027 elections. My name is Martin Macharia. You've been watching The Insight, a show that comes to you every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Do yourself a good night, and as always, let's do this again when God